It is 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. Jason is sitting at his kitchen table with his laptop open. He has been putting this off for 3 months. He opens his net worth tracker, types in the numbers he already knows by heart. Savings account, retirement fund, car loan he's still paying off. He hits calculate. $78,400. He stares at it for a moment. Then he does what almost everyone does in that moment. He opens a new tab and Googles average net worth at 41.
No.
The results load. His face changes. That number you just looked up. Here's why it told you almost nothing useful. My name is Charlie, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people build wealth while others stay stuck doing everything right. And if this is your first time here, hit subscribe, because this is exactly the kind of thing we break down every week. Here's what nobody tells you about net worth. The number is not the point. The stage you're standing in is the point. And most people have never seen the map. Jason does what the internet tells him to do. He reads 4 articles. He watches 2 YouTube videos. Every single one of them gives him the same advice. Increase your contribution rate, max out your retirement account, automate your savings, cut the subscriptions. The math is simple. The formula is right there. So Jason logs into his retirement account the next morning and bumps his contribution rate from 9% to 12%. The math works. He runs the projections. At 12%, compounding does its thing, and the numbers look better by the time he reaches 65. Problem solved. Except the anxiety does not go away. He checks his net worth again 3 weeks later. $79,100. Progress. Real progress. And yet he still feels the same low-level hum of financial dread that woke him up at 2 a.m. last month. Something is still wrong. He just cannot name it. Here's the thing. The advice Jason followed was not bad advice. It was the right answer to the wrong question. Because the problem was never Jason's savings rate. Read that again. The problem was that Jason had no map. He had been optimizing inside a stage he could not name, in a journey he could not see, toward a destination nobody had ever drawn for him. He was doing everything his retirement account calculator told him to do. And it was still not enough, because a calculator tells you what the math produces. It does not tell you what the journey feels like. It does not tell you what changes. It does not tell you what each number actually means. Most people in Jason's position assume the answer is discipline, save more, spend less, trust the compound interest, and so they white-knuckle their way through another year, checking the number every few weeks, waiting for the feeling to shift. It never does. Not without the map. The invisible goalpost is the real villain here, not your savings rate, not your income. The system handed you a retirement account and a contribution limit and told you to trust the math without ever explaining what the 6 stages of this journey actually look like, or why each one demands something completely different from you. That gap is not an accident. It is just a thing nobody bothered to build, until now. Here's what the map actually looks like. Net worth does not grow in a straight line. Every projection tool, every retirement calculator, every compound interest chart makes it look linear. Put in X, wait Y years, get Z. Clean. Predictable. Motivating. But that is not how it feels from the inside. From the inside, net worth grows in stages, and each stage has a completely different internal logic, different psychology, different demands, different emotional texture. What worked in stage 2 will not work in stage 3. What feels scary in stage 4 is completely normal. And what happens in stage 6 is something almost nobody prepares for. There are 6 stages between 0 and $1 million. Stage 1 is 0 to $10,000. This is the habit formation stage. At this level, money is still abstract. You are not building wealth yet. You are building the identity of someone who saves. The challenge here is almost entirely psychological. You're fighting the feeling that the amount is too small to matter. It is not. This stage is about proving to yourself that you can do this at all. The villain here is invisibility. Your progress is real, but too small to feel real. The move is to automate everything and stop watching daily. Stage 2 is $10,000 to $50,000. This is the system building stage. By now the habit is formed. The shift here is from willpower to infrastructure. You are setting up automatic transfers, diversifying where the money lives, starting to think in accounts rather than transactions. Progress is still slow enough that you will be tempted to make dramatic changes to accelerate it. Do not. The invisible goalpost, the system that never explained this, will push you toward complicated moves at exactly the moment simplicity is winning. Automation is beating you. Let it. Stage 3 is $50,000 to $100,000. This is the psychological battlefield, and this is where Jason is. Here's what nobody tells you about Stage 3. It is the hardest stage on the entire map. Not because the math is harder, because life is loudest here. You're old enough that expenses are real. Mortgage, maybe children, maybe a car payment that made sense at the time. Your income has grown, which means your lifestyle has grown, which means every dollar you redirect towards savings is a dollar you can feel leaving. Progress feels invisible because $50,000 of compounding growth sounds enormous, but on a year-to-year basis, it still looks like a slow crawl. You're not losing. You just cannot see yourself winning yet. The move in Stage 3 is patience, not optimization. You do not need a new strategy. You need to understand that this stage is designed to feel like you are failing, and you are not. Stage 4 is $100,000 to $250,000. This is the stage where compounding becomes visible for the first time. Read that again because it matters. For the first time in your financial life, the number starts to move without you pushing it. Your account earns more in a single quarter than you contributed manually. That shift is not just mathematical, it is psychological. Something changes in your relationship with money when it starts to behave on its own. You feel less desperate, less reactive. The invisible goalpost has less power over you here, because for the first time, you can see the machine working. Stage 5 is $250,000 to $500,000. This is the lifestyle pressure stage. By now, your income has almost certainly risen. You have been in your career long enough to be earning more than you were in Stage 2. And here's where the trap appears. Lifestyle inflation has had years to build momentum. Spending can silently erase years of gains at this stage, not through dramatic mistakes, but through the 100 small upgrades that feel completely reasonable because you can afford them. The move here is not to deprive yourself. It is to be deliberate, to notice when the goalpost moved and choose whether to follow it. Stage 6 is $500,000 to $1 million. This is the psychology flip stage, and almost nobody prepares for it. Here's what happens. After years of scarcity thinking, save more, spend less, protect every dollar, your brain does not automatically switch to abundance just because the number crossed $500,000. The behaviors that built the wealth become the same behaviors that make it hard to enjoy it. The shift from accumulation to stewardship is the hardest mental transition on the entire map. And without someone naming it explicitly, most people at this stage feel just as anxious as they did at Stage 1. Now, you have the map. 6 stages, clear psychology for each one. Jason has it. You have it. But here's what the map does not show you. What happens inside each stage when life decides to test you? Because knowing the stage does not automatically protect you from the trap that lives inside it. And there's one trap that runs across every single stage, from 0 to 1 million, that most people never see coming. Here's the trap. Hitting a new stage does not guarantee relief. That is the thing the map cannot protect you from on its own. Jason moves from Stage 3 to Stage 4 and crosses $100,000, the number he's been working toward for 9 years. And for about 3 weeks, it feels different. He checks his account, and there it is. 6 figures. He tells himself he made it to the next level. And then, slowly, quietly, the anxiety comes back. Not because anything went wrong, because his brain recalibrated. Here's what is happening, and it has a name: scope creep. Not the project management kind, the wealth psychology kind. Every time your net worth grows, your brain expands the comparison group it uses to measure whether you are doing well. At $10,000, you compared yourself to people with nothing saved. At $78,000, Jason compared himself to the average 41-year-old. At $110,000, he starts looking at colleagues who own vacation property and wondering whether he is actually behind again. The invisible goalpost does not disappear when you cross a new threshold. It moves with you. Here's the number that will make this uncomfortably real. Someone with $220,000 in net worth can feel identical anxiety to someone with $22,000. Not similar anxiety, identical. Because the human brain does not evaluate wealth in absolute terms. It evaluates it in relative terms, relative to the group you are comparing yourself to, relative to where you thought you would be at this age, relative to the version of success the system quietly sold you before you ever had a chance to examine it. This is not a personal failure. This is neuroscience. The threat response your brain fires when you feel financially behind does not care about your account balance. It cares about the gap between where you are and where your reference point says you should be. When that reference point keeps moving, and the invisible goalpost makes sure it does, the anxiety never fully resolves. It just migrates to a higher number. And here's where it gets really uncomfortable. Most people's response to this feeling is to work harder, save more, accelerate the plan, which in isolation is not wrong. But if the reference point is also accelerating, if the goalpost is moving as fast as you're running, then the treadmill never stops. You build more, you expect more. The gap stays the same, the anxiety stays the same, and 10 years pass. The only way off the treadmill is deliberate milestone framing, which means doing something the invisible goalpost was never designed to let you do, deciding in advance what enough looks like at each stage, and treating that definition as fixed even when your comparison group suggests otherwise. Not forever, just for this stage, just until you cross the next threshold, with a clear head, not a moving one. Because the people who build real wealth across all 6 stages are not the ones who earn more. They are not the ones who save the most aggressively. They are the ones who learned, at some point in the journey, to name the stage they were in, understand what it demanded, and stop measuring their progress against a goalpost that was never standing still. Here's the thing most people miss about everything we just covered. These stages do not care how old you are. They only care about the number. A 29-year-old with $180,000 saved and a 47-year-old with $180,000 saved are living through the exact same psychological stage right now. They feel the same pressure, they face the same trap, and they need the exact same thing: the clarity that their number is a coordinate on a map, not a verdict on their life. Your stage is not behind, it is just your stage. And knowing which one you are in changes everything about what you do next. Jason opens his net worth tracker one more time. $78,400, same number. Different feeling. He knows what it means now. He is in stage 3. The psychological battlefield between 50,000 and 100,000. The stage that is designed to feel harder than it is. The stage where the math is working, even when it does not feel like it. The stage that asks for patience above everything else, not more optimization. The number is not a verdict. It is a coordinate. Here's your micro action for today. Open your net worth tracker, or a blank page if you do not have one. Write down your number. Then look at the 6 stages we covered and identify which one you're standing in right now. Not to judge the number, not to feel behind or ahead, just to name where you are. Because you cannot navigate a journey nobody drew for you until you finally see the map. Jason sees it now. You do too. Getting to 100,000 changes your psychology, but getting past 100,000 changes the entire math of how money moves for you. The compound effect flips in a way most people never actually see coming. I broke down exactly what happens, the numbers, the psychology, the moment it clicks, in this video right here. Click it, and I will see you there.